Hi, my name's Chad Maddox. I was raised in a good moral home. I was raised in a home where we began attending church at a young age. We were in church, but it was the thing that good moral people did, I think. Now, my grandparents, they were Adventists, so they were kind of legalistic in some of their things, the ways they wanted me raised. I remember as a kid, I would go to my grandmother's house from time to time, and I really hated going for the most part because she was Seventh Day Adventist, and she was very strict on what she would let me do. We had to eat a certain kind of food, which was not normal from where I come from. It was we had to spend so much of the time of the day in the Bible, which as a 5 or 6 year old kid I didn't really want to do. I remember one day she was in the kitchen and she went to cook something for us, and I remember sneaking off to her bedroom and calling my mom to come and pick me up because, as well intended as it might have been, she thought she wanted the best for her grandson, but in order to be a good, godly person, you had to follow certain rules and regulations, and which I wanted no part of. And as I got a little bit older, probably maybe 10, 12 years old, I remember I honestly I believed that there was only two eternal destinations for a person. I realized that hell was not where I wanted to go. Um, and I remember I almost wish I had never even been born, because I only had two options at that point. Now that I've been born, either go to hell for all of eternity, which was not a good choice, or heaven, which required way too much work to get there. You had to follow all kinds of these rules that I didn't want to follow. You had to live a certain way, and you needed to eat a certain way in order to please this God that they had told me about. And I wasn't so sure that at the end of my life, if I had got to heaven, it wouldn't have, I'm not sure that I wanted to be there either, because I'm not so sure that I wanted to be with God. Later on, at the beginning of my freshman year of high school, I was about 14 years old, and I was attending a Baptist church off and on. I remember a pastor coming by my house, my parents' home, and I remember me and him sitting alone together in the formal living room and talking about what it meant to be saved. And this meant that you don't have to go to hell. And so he either walked me through the ABCs of salvation or a sinner's prayer. I can't really remember, but it was something to that effect. And I was proclaimed to be saved at that point. I believed that I was saved. I was kind of excited for a couple days even. And I had, instead of having to follow all these rules, I had just been given a get out of hell free card, basically. As years went on, I found myself enjoying sin. However, I wanted to maintain the from the outside that I was a good moral person. So I had to learn how to compartmentalize my life. We go to church on Sunday and we act a certain way. We sing songs that I really don't want to sing, and I read the Bible at church only, even though I don't really want to. And then on Friday and Saturday night, I would sin a lot, very liberally, but I would try to be inconspicuous about it so that I could maintain that moral look from the outside, at least among the people that was around me. It was probably around 2010, 2011. The church that I was at, we got a crazy pastor who come in, and he was preaching something foreign to what I had ever heard. Or as I sat under his preaching, I realized that what I had been told before, I had never really heard the gospel. I lived since I was 14 with a false gospel, thinking that I was able to be one thing yet live another way. And it wasn't until probably 2011 or 2012 when I really became convicted over things that I had done in the past. I was undone before God, and I think that's when I was completely broken. And I believe that's when that I really began to understand what the gospel meant, that it was for broken, undone, lost, ugly people like I was. I realized that I was a wretch and that I was in desperate need, that I wasn't healthy and I wasn't moral, that that the all the clean things that I did not make me clean, that I was a wretch, and that when I realized and was confronted with my sin, that then all of a sudden the cross of Christ looked beautiful. My name's Chad. I was a legalist, I was a nominal Christian, and I was a hypocrite. And if he saved me, he can save anybody.